There are too many videos on YouTube on how to pick your first skateboard. I don't know what more there is to say, but avoid department store skateboards, except the Braille Complete, and pick a board at your local skateboard shop. There might be one more way for you beginners though. First, let me tell you the approach that I took, and then the budget option I discovered. When I bought my last skateboard, I was 17. I got a World Industries deck with a Flame Boy and Wet Willy graphic, as well as blue Grind King trucks. I have no idea what wheels or bearings I bought, to be honest. I remember it cost me almost $300 back then. And I got to thinking, do I want to spend that kind of money on a skateboard, then take a bad fall and be left with an expensive piece of wall art? I live in a small town in Ontario, Canada, and we don't have a skateboard shop, but we do have a bike shop with a skateboard section. I went in there and was like, do you have World Industries decks? In hindsight, I probably should have done more research other than watch a few videos that suggested not to buy a Walmart board and to buy at least a Shop Complete. He laughed and told me that those are kind of hard to find nowadays. He showed me decks, trucks, bearings and wheels, and I asked if they had blank decks or Shop Completes. He told me they didn't have Shop Completes, but they had some completes in the back. He brought out some Prismatica completes in various sizes for me to try. They were all solid beginner boards, and most importantly, in the price range I wanted to spend, $129.99. The best advice for anyone looking to start skateboarding is to buy a Shop Complete, as it comes with everything you need to start without needing to know anything about which parts to choose or how to build it. Everything on a Shop Complete is perfect for a beginner, aside maybe the wheels if you don't have smooth concrete to cruise on where you live. At the beginning, you won't be able to put the force on your skateboard that would cause generic parts to fail or break. The first couple weeks/months, you'll be riding around and getting comfortable on the board. By the time you develop the skill to break your Shop Complete, you should have already bought your next setup. Other benefits of buying a Shop Complete are that the rest of the skateboard, like bearings, bushings, and wheels, are chosen for a beginner to learn on. For example, the bushings generally come hard or extra hard, because most beginners, me included, feel more stable on stiff trucks, or the bearings and wheels are usually generic, and they don't feel fast, and new riders don't fall as often on these. I just picked up Rick DeCloud's 78As, and they're amazing for skating the rough roads in my town. On decent concrete, when I step on my board, I sometimes feel unbalanced like I used to when I first started skateboarding. If I had premium bearings and soft wheels on my first deck, I know I would have slammed multiple times when I started to ride, not to mention when I started to relearn the ollie. For a new skateboarder, it would be demoralizing to experience learning on a skateboard like that. Luckily, I have a budget solution for you guys on the fence and you beginners ready to buy a board. Once I decided I was going to stick with skateboarding, I wanted to build a setup to my liking. I was browsing zoomies.ca and other skateboard shops in Ontario when I saw an Andy Anderson 8.45 deck an hour away in Chatham. I didn't have enough time to make it before the shop closed, so I had to wait. And it killed me because Andy's deck is so hard to find. So when I saw this one at a shop an hour away from me at Family Skate in Chatham, Ontario, I decided to make a trip out of it and do some cruising and hit the skate park there. Problem was that I needed trucks, wheels, and bearings, and I didn't have enough to buy new ones with the board. The trucks I had at the time are for an 8.0 board, and I didn't want to switch between boards when cruising or at the skate park. We had to go get some stuff at Canadian Tire that night, and I hadn't bought pads yet. So I was looking for some in the sporting section when I stumbled upon an old friend, World Industries. Apparently, World Industries sells boards at Canadian Tire. They sell penny boards, cruiser boards, popsicle boards, and longboards. But they have urethane wheels and metal trucks. The penny boards were unusable for my needs. The cruiser boards, on the other hand, were bigger, but the kingpins stand too high and will hit the curb or ledge when grinding. But I could make it work. These things won't matter at all in the first few weeks or months when learning, as I doubt most beginners like me will be grinding much or ollieing down big stair sets. The cruiser I picked up was $19 plus tax, so it was perfect for me. I got a cool Flame Boy and Wet Willy deck for my wall, as well as trucks, riser pads, Flame Boy and Wet Willy cruiser wheels, ABAC 7 bearings, and hardware for less than $25. It dawned on me that I could build a solid budget beginner skateboard with these parts. So my suggestion to those wanting to buy their first skateboard, or to the beginner that has yet to master the ollie, is get a shop complete. For the rest of you that don't want to break the bank but want a decent skateboard to learn on, I suggest looking at your Walmart, Target, Canadian Tire, and instead of looking at them for the graphic and if you could see yourself riding it, judge the board by its trucks and wheels. If they are plastic, then avoid them. But if they are metal trucks with decent wheels, then you got yourself your first trucks, wheels, bushings, bearings, and hardware. Now all you need is a good quality deck and you're good to go. I recommend looking for a skateboard shop in your province or state that does free shipping. And look for a blank deck or one branded with the shop's name/logo, as they are usually the cheapest decks. Avoid the blank decks or completes from Amazon, as they are hit and miss. So you might as well buy a shop complete from a skateboard shop and have it shipped. I also recommend picking up some bearings too, so you can swap them in once you start getting stable on the board. Lastly, a good rule of thumb is for teens or short riders, a 7.75 deck should be a good place to start. For older teens/young adults, decks ranging from 8.0 to 8.25 are a good place to start. And for those of us like me who are taller or heavier, decks ranging from 8.3 to 9 are a good place to start. For kids, a Kids Complete or a 7.5 deck will do the job to start. Now, all you're missing is your helmet and pads and you're ready to start skateboarding. I'll leave you guys there. Please like, subscribe, and leave a comment below.